Welcome to this tutorial on 6 ways to paint clouds. For the first example, I've laid some clear water here and there, gaps in between. Then I've come in with winds of blue, wash, just winds of blue, laying that down and leaving some of the white areas here and there for eventually the white fluffy clouds. Come down to the horizon with your darker clouds. I'm using something like a number 10 brush, rounded brush at the moment. I like the Pro Art brushes. Utrecht do a few good ones too. But the Pro Art brushes have a wide selection to choose from, various prices, suit your pocket. So laying in some clear water here and there, fusing in, coming down to the ocean, across. That will be darker still, show a contrast between the ocean and the sky. Dry the excess off with a tissue so you don't get creep back. Using a little flat brush, even a quarter size, with some much darker onto the ocean area. And as you see, all of these pigments do dry much lighter. Please remember to like and subscribe to see future videos. If you would like to help support the channel, please click on that like and subscribe, as it really helps our videos get seen by more people. And if you would like to purchase a print of one of my artworks, you can do so at billholcomb.com. Now we're doing a second example of 6 ways to paint clouds. Some clear wash at first again, then laying in some of the blue first of all, leaving some light areas as before. This one will involve an ocean as well, and it will include some rain clouds lashing down in streaks in the distance on the ocean. So as always, start light, then go gradually into your darker colours. And here I'm going to leave a strip of white clouds. So I've come further down the painting with some of the dark. Just using around, say, a number 8 or number 10 at this stage, given the size of the paintings, just little examples. Then I'm just now doing a bit of an underpainting where that rain is lashing down in the distance onto what will be the ocean. Remember, you can fuse in here and there. You can lay down little washes of water and use a tissue to dab and soften edges. Here, coming in with the ocean, it will be quite dark, a dramatic contrast with the sky. Now darkening up some of those clouds, despite the fact that the paint had dried. That's okay, because we can then fuse in, as I said, with water and tissue and things like that. Soften those edges again. continue with that. Now bring in some much darker streaks of rain. Distant storm coming our way. Ocean will be darkened up even more. Show the contrast. So on this example, quite a bit going on, you know, uh, but I'm sure you can cope with it. Just experiment and have fun. With these little examples, you can do that. It's not like you're going to waste a big bunch of paper. It is important to experiment different techniques so that you can apply them when you go to seriously tackle a painting. Now, softening the edges, as I mentioned, with a tiny little bit of water on the brush, not too much. Don't overdo it. Just dampen it onto the edges and lift with tissue. I should mention that this particular paper for this demonstration is Arch 140-pound rough. I normally use a 300-pound rough, the large painting demonstrations, but the 140-pound tape down was fine for this tutorial. And look, you can even come over some of the darker areas in that example. So that one's finished. Now this third example of 6 ways to paint clouds is just clouds. So no ocean, no landscape, I think just clouds. So you can really have fun with this one. Lay down your little washes of clear water here and there, and come in with your blues and then your darker versions of the blues, going into greys, using something like a number 10 or 12 brush here, rounded, pointed brush, and fusing in on the edges, darkening here and there. Good thing is with this, you can experiment, play around, have fun, see what works for you, what doesn't work, what works best, see where mistakes might occur, which you can then learn from all of those things when you choose to tackle a painting that you want to be a good finished painting. I don't think enough people experiment with watercolor. You might have the hopes, oh yeah, get straight onto it, and wish I hadn't done that and done that. Well, make mistakes on your little experiments like this, using little squares of paper. Please remember, as I've said before, to like and subscribe, all free, so that you can see future videos and push us up the viewing list. Wet in wet going on here and there, fusing in. We're getting close to finishing that one, and we have. Now we're going into some colour for a change. What we're going to do is an ocean scene again, so one pencil line down at the horizon, then a wash of clear water with a mop brush. On this occasion, start at the top with your blue, go into yellow, then go into a reddish colour at the horizon level. Now using something like a number 10 or 12, pointed sable, and come in from the sides, but leaving some of the yellow, the sunburst yellow. Now using a flat brush to lay in some of the dark clouds, all wet in wet. And some darker towards the horizon, thinner clouds. Once again, you'll see this dry much lighter. Coming in from the sides, but importantly leaving that burst of sun, the yellow, mopping up excess to avoid creep back. There you go, it has dried much lighter and looks nicely fused. So yellow wash at the horizon level, the red towards you, coming up, working your way up, leaving enough of that yellow as a reflection on the ocean. Wet in wet, working up. So you're using a flat brush again here so that I can control better the shapes of different waves and so forth on the ocean, and that I don't get too much pigment or water on the brush. So it's a nice small brush that I'm using that helps me keep control of what's happening. So a simple one, but effective. And you can, at that horizon level, once that's dried, you can, with that flat brush, lay down some water where the ocean meets the horizon and do a little bit of lifting and fusing in like this. You know, so there's a more misty sort of marriage between the two. Now we have some ocean again, but some more fierce clouds streaming across with a headland and some choppy water. So you can start with your wash of water if you wish again, and then some yellow at the top, red down to the horizon, and lay in your blue color, go to your flat brush for your controlled cloud shapes, much darker clouds. So the wind is really whipping up these clouds, and that's why they're all at an angle where so they're doing its work. And once again, they've dried quite nice and light. And we've got a choppy ocean, little bits of colour catching here and there, crests of waves. You know, just left white paper here and there in between, and then the choppy waves. And you'll see these waves now towards us are going to be much darker as we're doing now. And just think of doing interesting shapes. So that's an easy one. Now we're going to finish with a landscape. This time, wash of yellow halfway up into the sky, then the reddish wash down to the horizon. Then we'll come in with blue at the top this time. So there are different ways that you can choose to do this. Done it this way because I'm also going to leave a few little bits of white where the blue is, and also going to make sure I've got some yellow left. Pop up with tissue, it's dried lighter. Now the landscape, starting with yellow at the horizon level, come down, and then with the green from the bottom section working up, making sure I leave some of that light on the landscape in the distance. And now I'm using a dry brush technique to paint trees. You can see me demonstrate this technique and many others in lots of the other videos that you can see. Lots of tutorials here, which once you subscribe to, you'll be notified of, and you can just go through the library, see what you'd like to tackle to paint, and help you achieve success. So, simple landscape using a number 4 brush, then go into a much smaller brush once that's semi-dried, something like a number 2, and show the limbs, trunk of the tree. And then once you've done that, just lightly fuse some of that together, dab in with a brush now. And now we're anchoring the tree effectively to the landscape with some darker colour there, broken up. Different undulations on the field, getting darker undulations the closest towards you. Well, I hope you found this useful. That's 6 ways to paint clouds. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.